Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chris Cooper, known as the Channel Guy Trader, and I'm reporting to you live from Wall Street Trading Satellite Office down in sunny South Florida. Today's date is Tuesday, October the 2nd, 2012, and here is today's After the Bell Market Summary. I want to first start by taking a look to see how the indices closed here. The Dow Jones closed down 32.75, the NASDAQ closed up 6.51, and the S&P 500 closed up 1.26. If we take a look at the breadth tomorrow, if we take a look at the breadth today, it was a pretty mixed market here. We had 3,277 issues advancing. We had 2,806 issues declining on the NYSE, NASDAQ, and AMEX. So it was leaned in favor towards the bull side. However, it was more or less, close to half and half or so. So, I mean, mixed day. If you take a look at the hot chart, we had some stocks in the financials moving up, some stocks in the technology sector was moving up here. So just a mixed bag, and we'll dissect the charts right now to see what we can expect to happen going forward. So let's start off by taking a look at the the S&P 500 futures chart. You guys know I've been keeping you guys up to date with some of my proprietary channel analysis stuff that I do. All right, aside from just looking at a plain chart via regular moving averages, price action, and stuff like that. And last week we called the breakdown in the market out of this little high base consolidation pattern that we had. Got involved to Apple and stuff like that on the short side. That's a pass. So let's talk about the present, what we expect to happen going forward. All right, well, the breakdown took place. We got a nice little bounce off this little support zone around the 1425 level or so. And right now we're trying to break back above the above this little bottom prior support from the channel that's now acting as resistance. Okay. Yesterday we broke above that 1445, which is this level right here. We broke above this 1445 level, rallied up, then the market started fading slowly, and then, during the midday of the session, all right, the chart via my system was looking like this, and throughout the rest of the session it started going down, started hanging around right here. Then I say, hey, look, if this thing does not stay above 1445, we can expect the market to sell back down towards 1440 or so, 1437. What happened? Well, we started having a nice little candlestick like this yesterday, started fading, and then when it got to 1445, when it broke below 1445 the first time, if you look at the 15-minute chart yesterday, which I'm not going to go through that because I highlighted that in our midday market update, which you can find on wallstreettrading.com on the upper right hand side on the My Wall Street TV tab. All right, but we had the nice little resistance I was holding as 1445 intraday going into the close. And then next thing you know, we sold off, made new lows, and we had a good analysis. We had a good setup on our system. Same thing for today. We're still using that key 1445 level just for the fact that it's a key level on an intraday time frame that lines up alongside with our key channel analysis right here. So if we could start holding above this channel, all right, again, that 1445 level, then I can expect to move back up here in this little zone, and we can maybe get we can maybe get a nice continuation move higher, and then all this action below this key trend line right here will be considered a shakeout, shaking out the weak longs and moving back to the top side. And then our next target will be back up towards this upper channel line right here. All right, the same shake and bake action that we had before we broke out, shaking the people to the top side, downside. All right, was the same thing they did right up here before bears actually took control and knocked her down, and now bulls are trying to take her right back up. So if we can get back inside this channel, all right, on a nice bullish day, that would be a bullish sign for me, and then that would lead me to believe that this is probably a shakeout. So we'll see. Like I said before, we need more clues, and obviously we are on top of it. If you've been in the chat room, we've been making excellent calls, and we've been doing pretty well, everybody in the chat room. So again, if you have not been in the chat room, it is mywallstreettv.com. Password to log in is SMART, S-M-A-R-T, lowercase. Let's go ahead and take a look at the SPY daily chart. All right, SPY daily chart still remains in this nice little upward channel. All right, we tried to get that breakout, but then again, we failed from the breakout as we had this key proprietary. Well, it's not even proprietary. We just had this key channel analysis here that we had from all the way back in March. And the reason why I say it's key because we had this channel in play. We had back here we had the breakout, had the pull back up, the failed back test break inside the channel, and the failure move. Well, this key trend line is important. That's why it came into play about 2 weeks ago. And it caused us to put a nice little, a new 52-week high, but a 52-week high that we faded off of. So now we're working off of, we're still working off that high, off of 148.15 being the new high for the year. Okay, and really on the SPY, until we break below 143, the ball's still in the bull's court. If you ask me, if I put the moving averages and studies back here on the price chart, you can see that we still remain above a rising 50-day simple and exponential moving average on the daily time frame. And right now we're just kind of chopping around here in a cloud of all these moving averages. So reference levels to watch for tomorrow. If the SPY could break above 145.25 or so and hold up, we could get a nice trade up towards 146. If we break below today's lows, expect to move back down towards, I would say, 140, 143. And then we have some support around 142.58, 142 area from these moving averages down here. Okay, let me take a look at the SPX real quick, just a regular cash index. This kind of gives you a cleaner pattern of what's going on, and you can see the cash index is in this nice little upward channel until we really break below 1419 on the cash index, and then really 1400, 1406. If you guys looked at my blog, ask at channelguidetrader.com, you guys will see that I posted up a quarterly chart, and the quarterly chart, which is basically a chart that shows that basically consolidates every 3 months into one candle, okay, and reads it on a quarterly basis. We had a quarterly breakout. The third quarter broke out from the previous 2 quarters, so therefore that breakout level was 1400. So for me to really get bearish in the market, we will have to be below 1400, which obviously is the key level of support just from the whole number and just from it being a key level from before as resistance, now acting as support. Now I know I'm talking a lot, probably talking a little bit too fast, but follow along with me here. Okay, so take a look at the Qs, triple Qs. Triple Q still hanging around the 68.50 area. As long as we can hold above 68.64, we should continue to trend higher. Even if we trade down to 67.41, 67.5, call it, we still have some nice support down there from the rising 50-day exponential and simple moving averages on the daily time frame. Now the IWM forming a nice downward bullish channel. Now we have to see if this breaks out in the near term or if we're just going to keep on trending lower inside this channel then get a breakout. But obviously you guys know 80% of the time these channels do result to the upside, and if they don't result to the upside and we break the the bottom channel line, then we usually have a nice little sell-off, as that usually leads to a kind of like a little bull trap for people that were positioning themselves to the bull side inside this channel. Now levels to watch on the IWM. All right, you have 83. If we trade below 83, we could get a nice move down towards 82, which again, we're going to have these 50-day simple exponential moving averages on the daily time frame. If we can get above this 84.50 level, we could really get some nice traction for the fact that if you take a look here on the daily time frame, right, you can see that we've been basically trading in this range between 83.25 or so and 84.5 for the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and call it 5.5 or even call it 6 sessions here. So once we get out of this little price range with some nice volume on an intraday basis and some nice action and a nice little setup, whether it be to the bull side or whether it be to the downside, if we break down, we should have a nice little momentum move. All right, and I'm going to be keeping a close eye on the TNA and TZA to see what scenario plays out, and we'll be right there to capitalize on it. And that's the IWM. Let's take a look at the volatility index, the VIX. The VIX was making a nice move intraday, then it faded out, then it faded off and traded lower. If we take a look at my charts here from the VXX, this is my little chart that I show in the chat room and stuff like that. You can see here that we had this nice little upward channel for the past that we've been in for the past 2 sessions, including today, for most of the session until we finally broke out of that. So this is another reason why we could get a nice little pop tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see. If they try to rally the VXX up and it makes a lower high versus these highs from up here around 920. You really want to watch to see what the market does right there and see if that makes a lower high and if this pulls back in, breaks that low. Different scenarios. You always want to have the scenarios played out or kind of visualized when you're trying to set up a game plan, a strategy for the following day. So anyway, the VIX still in this nice little downward channel. Obviously, this most likely eventually, not who knows when, will break to the top side. Only time will tell. And who knows? It could be from some news, out of Europe, or it could be from something from one of our economic news, one of our economic data points, not being as much as expected. We'll have to wait and see. But if we, this, like I said, this downward channel usually resolves to the top side, so we'll see. However, if we trade back below this little upward channel that we've kind of have in play right here from the volatility index, we can make a move back down towards 1331. Now, like I've been explaining in my previous videos, if we trade below 1331, we could have a nice momentum move back down towards the bottom of this channel, which obviously would mean the market would be on fire if the volatility index was to come crashing back down and make a new low for the year. So again, need more time with this here as well. Let's take a look at the dollar futures. The dollar futures were pretty strong today. All right, dollar futures were pretty strong today. I can show you guys my dollar futures chart, my euro chart. You can see here for most of the session today, the dollar sold off a little bit in the morning, then recovered around 11 o'clock and caused some selling pressure in the markets till the markets reversed around 3 o'clock or so, 3:25. Take a look at the euro. The euro was strong for most of the session as well until it broke out this little upward channel. Had some selling pressure come in around 1 o'clock or so. And that's exactly when the market started getting a little bit weak there and faded to new lows and recovered, like I said, around 3 o'clock. So that's how the euro's looking. If I take a look at my euro daily chart for you guys here, you can see my euro daily chart. Let me clean this up a little bit for you guys. Sorry about that. If you take a look at the euro daily chart here, we did get a nice little bounce off that key trend line that I'm watching. All right, and we'll continue to watch this trend line right here, and we'll continue to watch this prior red zone area. And the reason why that red zone area is important, again, so for some of the new people that are watching this video, I can explain myself. Remember, I've been tracking this trend line for the past year, past 9-10 months here or so, using my channel system. And this area has been acting as resistance. I call the break. If you go to my old videos on my YouTube channel, okay, I called this little breakdown right here in the euro, which that was when the market started getting some selling pressure. The dollar shot up, and then at the same time, I called the breakouts about 3 weeks ago when we broke out of that zone, as it was acting as resistance for the past 8 months. And when we got that confirmation close above it, that's when the euro took off there. So I was expecting a little pullback, maybe back more towards that zone from the breakout, right? But the fact that we have a higher low right now is a little bit bullish on the euro. We'll have to wait and see, but definitely have some good analysis on the euro that I'm gauging as a indicator for the market if it wants to go higher or lower. And if you guys keep on watching these videos, I'll keep you guys in tune with that. What else did I want to go over here? Let's take a look at some stocks now. Actually, let's finish take a look at the rest of the market here. Taking a look at gold. Gold was pretty flat today, only down 19 cents on the GLD, and basically just consolidating right here above 170 and between 173.55. Let's take a look at silver, SLV. Silver, nice little consolidation still consolidating above the rising 8 EMA. SMA rising 20 SMA EMA on the daily time frame. A breakout is expected over 34. Taking a look at crude oil via crude oil futures -CL. All right, again, unless crude oil gets above 94, all right, I'm not expecting crude oil to trade, to continue to move higher. Right now, it's having resistance at 94, as this was a prior range. All right, so therefore that prior support, now resistance, as it broke through right there, it's going to act as resistance. So until we really get above 94 on crude oil, I'm not bullish on crude at all, and could probably fade right back down towards 89 a barrel, or even 87. We'll see. If we get back above 94, then we'll be looking for a move back up towards 98 as it tries to fight its way back through all this congestion right here that it broke down out of. So we had a lot of interesting stuff here. Just got to wait for those stocks to set up to put the ideas together, the strategy together with the correct scenario that plays out. Okay, now let's take a look at some stocks now. Apple faded off today, but had a nice little bounce in the last hour or so, just like a lot of stocks did, and got a nice little bounce off the first touch of the 50-day simple moving average around 650. And a lot of the traders that I know, that I follow, in one of my Facebook groups that I'm involved in, they made some decent money. Now, again, I don't really trade Apple, the stock. I do trade the weekly call options on it. But Apple may be something you want to watch. If Apple could maybe get a reversal back over 666 and hold above that level, hold above that crazy 666 number, we can maybe get a move back up towards 680, and then everything will be kosher, I guess you could say, because we are still here at support. And we're still at support, and 660 is the level to watch to hold. If we break below 660 and hold, then we're going to be going back towards today's lows around 650 or so. All right, IBM made a nice little Made a nice little scalp trade in the weekly option on this in the last hour. Made some decent money on that trade. However, IBM still looks good. Notice the selling volume today was pretty low. The buying volume for the past 2 days was high. And if IBM can get a nice trigger through this 211.50, call it 212, IBM should continue to make a new all-time highs and make its way up towards, I would say, 215, 220. We'll see. Take a look at some of these big horseman stocks. Amazon. All right, Amazon looking a bit vulnerable as it has been closing. It does have 3 consecutive closes below the 8 EMA, below the 20 simple moving averages. So that stock, if it breaks below 248, 247.5, it can maybe make a move down towards 245.41, which will line it up with the rising 50-day simple moving average and exponential moving average. All right, let's take a look at a couple other stocks I want to check out. Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs still holding the moving averages. I don't like how it gave back all the action yesterday, but nice day ups. Still closing above the previous day's close, so it's still trending up, you could say, off of this little low that we made around here at 112. That's one stock. Let's take a look at a couple other stocks here. What were some stocks we're looking at today? We're looking at Mosaic. All right, call Mosaic for short below 56. That one paid off pretty good in the morning. Then it reversed right back up as this stock got bought off the dips. But the agriculture sector has been on fire. Take a look at AGU. I'm dragging this video out a little bit. Sorry about that. AGU. Watch AGU for a continuation if it gets above 106 and holds. Definitely have that on watch. Watch Monsanto. They have earnings out tomorrow before the bell. Okay, and this stock has been trading in a range between 89.45 and 92. That means if it was to break above 92 or a gap above 92 and hold, you can expect the stock to go higher with the sector being on fire as well. Let's take a look at CF. CF was down $2.49 today, but still remains in this nice little upward channel. So that's about it, guys. I do have some more analysis, but I'll leave that for the people that come, for the followers that we have that come in the chat room, and for the Wall Street chat room, Wall Street trading chat room regulars. We'll leave that analysis for them. Please come and join us. mywallstreettv.com. Password to log in is smart. And make sure you check out the website, wallstreettrading.com. I apologize if I dragged this video out a little bit, but I had some stuff that I wanted to show you guys. And we'll have more analysis for you guys tomorrow morning. Have a great night and enjoy the rest of your day.